sweet boy, go now on your journey. I hope it's as good as the trips you dreamed about, because finally, my sweet boy, finally, you're free. I will love you and I will miss you every single day for the rest of my life. But you're right here. I know you're right here. I just have to teach myself how to feel you in a different way. And Hirsch, there's one last thing I need you to do for us. Now I need you to help us stay strong. And I need you to help us survive.
How are you feeling?
What's your reaction to the 6 hostages being found dead in Gaza?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I don't really know about what you guys are talking about, but Biden has done absolutely nothing. He has done way too many vacations, and I think that when you're doing these mini vacations, you kind of need to be aware. I want to let you guys know, I don't have very many vacations when I do this stuff on here. So, like, it's not like if I don't do a video, it's because I have something else that's coming up in my life that I just do not have the ability to, usually go make a video. So I don't usually have vacations, and I always want to constantly be making videos. Whereas Joe Biden, he is the U.S. president. He doesn't need vacations. When the world is in this much turmoil, you can't just be taking vacations and consistently. So it's really a huge problem. And what's worse here, guys, what is worse is that Biden says Netanyahu is not doing enough to secure Israel-Hamas hostage deal. What are we talking about here, Joe Biden? What are we talking about? You're the one that is not doing anything, doing vacations, and not trying to make the deal better. You're not doing anything. If anything, you guys were actively defending Hamas or the violent protests that was happening here in our own country. I don't know what you're getting off with this. All right. Like, this is insane. I have no idea on how you could blame Netanyahu on something about the hostage situation when these people attacked them in the first place. Like, it's like, I don't know what you're doing here. This is all your fault. Like, the Afghanistan thing is your fault. You're the reason why those 13 soldiers are deceased. You're the reason why the Israel and Hamas hostage deal is such a problem. It's because you're a weak president. You're a weak president. You're not a strong president. The reason why we're having wars against Russia and Ukraine is because they see you as weak, and they're using your weakness to do what they want. That's what's happening here. If you are weak, you don't get things done. And of course, we're going to have these media people or these far leftists coming down on my channel. Please comment down on my channel. Please, please. I would like to see your reasonings of like, oh, how is he not weak? Okay, then tell me this. How many wars were we in 2016 through 2020? How many wars? Please tell me on how many wars we were in. I would like you to know. Cite them. Give me them. Please. Give me the amount of wars that we were in when Trump was in place. Even post your fake evidence if you want, and tell me how many wars we were in. Because right now we have China doing aircraft tutorials or what have you. We have Russia that's at war with Ukraine. We have Hamas that's at war with Israel. So, what's going on here, guys? This is obviously something egregious, right? We have also Iran that's making deals or trying to get rid of the petrodollar and go side with Russia. What is happening? Explain this to me, guys. Like, again, you're seeing the country fell apart, and because you guys have such severe TDS, or you're actually communists, you're actually socialists, that you don't care what happens to the country. You just don't care. You just hate Trump so much that you would rather have the country fall into oblivion, have your friends and families die, get murdered, raped, everything, for the sake of your severe TDS. This is what you people are. I hate to say it to you. Okay, And then, of course, I'll go in the actual article here. It says President Biden said Monday that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not doing enough to secure a hostage deal after 6 captives were found dead in a Hamas terror tunnel in Gaza. Biden, returning to the White House after a 2-week vacation in California and Delaware, was asked by a reporter whether Netanyahu had done enough and replied no. He was quickly hailed by the families of the dead hostages. We urge Prime Minister Netanyahu to demonstrate similar resilience, determination, and commitment to the lives of the hostages. The Hostages Families Forum headquarters said in a statement. Biden also said we're very close to proposing another hostage deal this week, and that hope springs eternal on whether it will be successful. It goes on to say, Israelis staged protests Monday across the Jewish state, a close U.S. ally, over their government inability to secure a hostage deal with Hamas, nearly 11 months since the terror group launched its deadly attack on Israel on October 7th and took dozens hostage. The outcry was triggered by 6 hostages, including Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland being found dead on Saturday in a Hamas tunnel. All were shot at close range and likely killed 2 to 3 days before their bodies were found, Israelis said. Goldberg, Poland, 23, was dragged into Gaza after attending a music festival in Israel on October 7th and getting his left hand blown off during the attack. His family had been petitioning for his release in front of Biden in the United Nations and Pope Francis. The families of the U.S. Israeli hostages being held in Gaza previously spoke to Congress about the U.S. putting more pressure on Netanyahu to get their loved ones home, arguing that should be Israel's prime minister priority. Goes on to say, Biden said he spoke to Goldenberg's family Sunday. I am devastated and outraged, Biden wrote in a statement after the meeting. I have gotten to know his parents, John and Rachel. They have been courageous, wise, and steadfast, even as they have endured the unimaginable, the president said. They have been relentless and irrepressible champions of their son and of all the hostages held in unconscionable conditions. I admire them and grieve them more deeply than words can express. I know all Americans tonight will have them in their prayers, just as Jill and I will. But again, this doesn't really say anything because you're not really doing anything. And again, what we have here is going to lead us to another war, potentially, is that U.S. hostages Hamas leaders in connection with October 7th massacre in Israel. Washington, the Justice Department announced criminal charges Tuesday against Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar and other militants in connection with October 7th, 2023 rampage in Israel. The criminal complaint filed in federal court in New York City includes charges of conspiring to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization resulting in death. Continues to say, the charges unsealed today are just one part of our effort to target every aspect of Hamas operations. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a video statement, these actions will not be our last. So essentially it's saying is that, are we just going to go to war with these guys? Is that what you're saying? If we're going to have to go to war with these people? Because I understand that we may have to do something now because one of our American citizens was executed and we had to hold steadfast on people like this. But the point being is that we're getting closer and closer to these unnecessary wars if Biden was just a strong president, but he's not. The world sees him as weak, so he's just going to step all over them. And God forbid if we get Kamala Harris in here. Like, what is she going to do? Be a girl boss and agitate other people? Like, being a girl boss is not a good thing when you want to go and agitate people. If you're going to become emotional, this is going to lead to breakdowns. Or what is it? Are you going to go to North Korea and then be girl boss, and then make things worse? This does not help. This is all insanity here. I don't understand what people don't understand. I don't understand on how people can see on how bad this is if these people left in office. Outside of the world war stuff, or even the military aspect, go look at our own country and how illegal immigrants are just roaming free, invading apartments and stuff. Like, this is not, like, a normal thing. We gotta have change. We gotta have a change of course. And again, I will always say this, guys. The Democrats have been in control of the United States for 12 years. For 12 years. The Democrats have been in control of the United States. 12 years. And you're saying one bleep on the radar, 4 years, Trump did immense amount of damage? 4 years? But there was no wars? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So if the Democratic Party has been in office for 12 years, how does it make any difference? How does it, like, impact? So what are you going to say? You guys have been if Kamala Harris wins and the Democratic Party is in charge for 16 years, are you going to say it's not the Democratic Party's fault? Oh, it was the Republicans from, over 8 years ago. Get out of here. It's the Republicans' fault. It's Trump's fault. What happened 8 years ago? 8 years ago? That makes no sense. Within 4 years, you guys have created the country into this. 4 years. It took you guys 4 years to do this. Technically less. And it's Trump's fault. Get out of your TDS. Get out of being stupid, because you guys are just morons in every regard. If you think like, oh, you're just insulting, I don't care if I'm insulting you. You're the enemy of the country. That's pretty simple. You're just the enemy of the country. You caused this issue. You're gonna say like, oh, the Republicans are the most violent? Really? Because last time I was just seeing a bunch of Democratic supporters attacking a female for being a Trump supporter. Huh. That's odd. Why is that? I'm really curious on why that is. Of course, you guys say, oh, it's fake, it's fake. And then it's like, oh, it's Justice Smollett. Oh, now you're using Justice Smollett as your reason? Now you're using Justice Smollett as your reason. After all you guys were praising him and all that stuff and defending him, and now you're saying it's Justice Smollett. You guys aren't real. You people are a joke. So is the Biden administration, and so is this. We're going to get into another potential war before we might even end this, and that's the insane part. I don't want to be in another war. And that woman says everything. So, I don't know what to say, guys, but that's just reality. More coming out today. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.